Hey, how y'all doing? So, funny story, I'd actually gotten an initial version of this desk setup tour done not too long ago. I got the footage recorded, it was about half of it anyway. I did the whole voiceover for it, I was in the editing process. It was going pretty good, but I decided to scrap all of that. Because my initial version with this was going to be, do the typical super duper clean setup and all that kind of thing. And I just kind of decided, you know what, that's not really how my setup looks at all times. That's what I strive for. But more often than not, it ends up something a bit more like this. It's not good. So I figured maybe let's just do something a bit more realistic. Maybe do something a bit more of how my desk setup would actually look after it's been used. So we're gonna go ahead and walk through all of this stuff right here. And then as we go, we'll just kind of pick things up and get things looking clean. And you'll see what it actually takes to get a setup like you'd actually see in a normal video. So first things first, this is a desk from Uplift. Now, I have a hard time just sitting down at a desk all day long. I like to actually move around and be a bit more active, and it has been a really nice desk. I really enjoy it, super quiet. I think it actually has sensors underneath where you can actually detect things as you're raising or lowering it so it doesn't just crush anything that's underneath it. But moving on top, I actually have an Orbit Key desk mat. I really like this, and the reason that I chose this was because I just like the way it looks. A lot of these I've seen as just kind of just a sheet of fake leather or something like that. But this is really cool because it's it's a dual layer. So it's the fake leather on top, and then you have this layer of felt underneath it. And I just kind of like the whole look of it. And the fact that back here, you have this little magnetic cable management. And yeah, it kind of just cleans things up. I try to use this for my headphones, and sometimes I use my keyboard cable. Sometimes I'll put it in here while it's charging, and it works really well. Plus, I just like the fact that it really helps putting drinks and things like that. It was really easy because all you gotta do is just take it away and then wipe it down, and it just it comes right off. And I also wipe it down every so often with some cleaner and a cleaning cloth, and it just gets it all looking nice and clean again. But moving on to the keyboard, this is far and away my favorite keyboard that I have ever used. This is the Keychron K8 Pro. I've just been in love with this keyboard. It types really well, it sounds great, it's got a really good feature set to it. Battery life is only about a week or so, but I don't really mind because I have the cable and everything. It's a really nice braided cable that it came with. I like it so much that I actually got these HyperX pudding keycaps on top, and it just really makes the RGB there we go. That took way too long. I really love this because it really brings out the RGB, and I think it makes it sound a little bit clickier. So I'm really happy with all of this. Definitely recommend it. Go check out the video that I did on it. I'll also link a playlist at the end of this if you want to see reviews on any of this that I show. But then I also have this right here. This is the Logitech MX Master 3. I've had this mouse for a good long while. As you can see, it's starting to look pretty used, but I've been super happy with this. I used to use a lot of the things like the $10 Logitech mice, the little small ones that you just kind of get with the USB dongle. Then eventually I upgraded from that to a gaming mouse from Logitech, which was nice because it had the programmable buttons on the side and it was a little bit bigger and all that. But by far, this has been the best out of any of them. It's big, it actually fits my hand really nicely. The buttons are laid out really nice, and I love the magnetic scroll wheel and the side scroll wheel. I actually have profiles set up in the Logitech Options app. For example, in my editing software, I actually have programs set up to where I can press these individual buttons, and it'll cut from the beginning of a clip or the end of a clip. And it just makes the whole editing process so much quicker and easier. I absolutely love it. And of course, with that mouse, I use the M1 MacBook Air as my main computer. This has definitely been the best computer I have ever had. I've been a Windows guy for years, my entire life. This is the first MacBook I've ever owned, and it has been absolutely amazing. It has been my favorite computer of all time. I think it's probably the first laptop that's actually ever spoiled me as far as computers go. It's awesome. But most of the time, whenever I'm sitting at my desk, I'll actually have it docked in this little 12 South book arc stand, which is nice because it has a little built-in cable tray, if you want to call it that. You can just route it under here. I usually use this for my headphones just to kind of keep things looking a bit tidy, that kind of thing. As a matter of fact, I'll go ahead and dock it. Get out right? Where's the cable? Again, there it is. Let's turn the monitor on. So this is actually a Samsung S80A. I think the more like proper name is Viewfinity S8. I really like this monitor. It works really well with my Mac. I've got everything all set up here, so it's a really nice little desktop setup. I think this monitor only costs about like $400, which is really good for what you get with it. I think it's 4K. It's got 65-watt USB-C charging and connections. So just one cable, it manages everything. I absolutely love it, and the colors are also really good. So yeah, super happy, and I'm just gonna go ahead and yeah, there we go. That's looking better. So then over my monitor, I actually have this BenQ light bar. This has actually made a massive difference to my setup, a lot more than I thought it would be. I used to have like a big task light that sat on my desk, which was nice because it did a lot of really awesome things. You could change the temperature and the brightness. It had a wireless charger built into it. But I really just wanted to kind of clean things up a little bit. And this light bar right here has just been the absolute best thing for it that I've ever done. Because you can see right now it has the whole like lighting right here. And then if I turn it off, it still looks good, but that light just really adds to it, and I'm really happy with it. So if I go ahead and turn it back on, I do the whole like auto adjustment thing where I adjust the brightness and the temperature and all that based on the surroundings. It just looks so much better. And also, yeah, I have an Apple Watch. I think this is like the Series 5. I don't really have any real reason to upgrade right now because this one still just works great after all this time. I'm really happy with it. Then I also use the Apple leather wallet. Whenever I carry things around, it's nice. It's just like super minimal and that kind of thing. Whenever I'm away from my desk, I usually use a set of Theo FH3s. I'm really happy with the way that these sound. They fit really nice. They're comfortable. These are extremely well made. The cable feels super nice. But that's usually whenever I'm away from my desk, or I just have it like as a laptop. Whenever I'm sitting at my desk, I usually switch to something like these. These are my Biodynamic DT770 Pros. A couple weeks ago, I did a full review on these. They're comfortable. The separation, the sound is really nice, so you can really hear all the little parts distinctly. The fact this is all cabled and everything, there's no like real latency or anything like that, so they work really well for editing and all that sort of thing. Yeah, I like it. Usually I like to keep it up here next to the light bar, and I'll probably go ahead and put these away real quick. This is what I usually use to record my videos. This is the Rode PodMic USB. I have used a couple of more budget-friendly microphones in the past. I got started on a Samson Meteor mic, and then eventually I got sent another microphone from a company called FineFine. They sent me a condenser microphone, and I used that for a while in my videos, and then eventually I kind of decided maybe it's time to go ahead and upgrade to the big boys. And so, yeah, I got a Rode PodMic USB, built really well, sounds really great. I'm really happy with it. It's got the built-in DSP, so I don't have to do any like the processing or anything like that in the editing process. I connect it to a newer boom arm. This is like a $30 version of like a Rode PSA 1. Actually really sturdy, like surprisingly so. Like I've used like budget arms in the past and they're okay, but they're definitely not going to hold up something as heavy as this. This, like, no, this thing's gonna hold it. Yeah, it's gonna hold him anything you put on it. Yeah, that's it. That's my entire setup. Thank y'all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. This definitely looks a lot. It looks a lot better than how it started. So yeah, happy about that. But yeah, like if y'all enjoyed this, then feel free to subscribe. And I really appreciate y'all for watching. Thank you for being here. And go ahead and check out that playlist that I mentioned earlier. I'll put it up here on the screen right now if you want to go see it. And yeah, thank you again. I'll see you all around. Adios.